Alright, my friends, welcome back to Frog Boy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and I've spent 45 days with a 4080 Super. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, just want to go over this experience a little bit, because now that guys, the honeymoon phase is kind of wearing off. It's been wearing off for a little while, but to be real, like, I like Nvidia, I really do, and clearly they're the number one company in the world. I think they just topped out. They're over Microsoft and Apple now. A graphics card maker is the number one freaking company on the stocks right now. Over $3 trillion company, and I can't seem to. I don't understand why it just always feels so overhyped and like under delivers for what you get, like the price that you pay for some of these products. It's like, wow, dude, is that really what like the best is, or what the best gets you? And I get it that like inflation is up. I get it that right now, things, I really just don't see the extreme value or any value of over like $600 for a GPU. Like I don't. I really don't, because the diminishing returns that you actually get once you buy one of these. So I paid almost $1,200 for this 4080 Super. Once you go past like that $600 mark, I don't think GPUs are as interesting anymore. I don't. Like yeah, obviously you get the same visuals. Like, you literally get the same visuals. And then you get higher resolution and maybe a few more frames. But it's crazy. It really is crazy. If you look at what I had with that 4070 Super, and then you compare that to the 4080 Super, I'm like, my gosh, man, for almost twice the price, it's like, dang, dude, the uptick really isn't like, it's almost okay. So obviously I was rocking the 1440p monitor with the 4070 Super. I'm not even gonna try to mince words here. The 4080 Super, I'm running this on a 4K LG OLED. But when you look at that, gosh dang, this TV is so annoying sometimes. I don't care about that. When you actually look at, the overall experience that you get on like 1440p versus 4K, like the visual image to me, guys, is really not that significant. Like, it really isn't. Especially if you're on a native 1440p monitor, you look at that and you get like kind of the best of both worlds. You get super high refresh rate, and you get, pretty clean, pretty crisp, overall good looking visual quality, like you do. And then when you go to 4K, obviously you're going to get, like 4K image or whatever. I've never tried it on a 4K monitor. That will be my next, probably purchase or whatever, is the monitor. But to tell you the truth, guys, I kind of just miss. I do. I miss that mid-range experience. I really do. When you're talking like 7800 XT, 7900 GRE, or even 4070 Super or 4070. Man, I kind of miss that freaking experience. Like, I always felt like, here's the thing, like I always knew, or I always felt like, hey man, when I put this game in there at 1440p, it's gonna run really good, it's gonna look great, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And now on like the 4080 Super and the 7900 XT, I'll get on here and I'll be like, all right, is this gonna work at 4K? And like sometimes, like, yeah, sometimes no. Like, you have to use upscaling and frame generation just for a game like Body Cam on a 4080 Super at 4K. Obviously it destroys it at 1440p, but playing that game at 4K, man, you're like, gosh dang, man. And then you start to lose a little bit of like the luster and shine of your new $1,200 card starts to lose a little bit of it starts to lose a little bit of that luster and shine when you're like, dang man, I couldn't even do that. Or when you're playing like open world games or something like that. I play a lot of open world games. I'm playing Elden Ring right now. I'm going through that game, and it's running, obviously a locked 60 frames a second at 4K with RT on. And you look at something like that, and then you look at like some of the other games that are going to be coming out over the course of the time. And if you bought this card for a 4K display. I mean, I do kind of get a little bit worried, with some of these Unreal Engine 5 games. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell you that like I feel like all of them are gonna run perfectly. I still have my doubts, obviously, and I feel like $1,200, or I mean, if you can get this 4080 Super for $1,000, maybe it's definitely worth it. But I don't know, guys. I feel like I have more regret over high end GPUs than I do for the lower end ones, man. Like that 500 that $500 to $600 price range for GPU just kind of feels like that like it feels good, It doesn't feel so expensive that you're like, oh man, I wasted money, and it's not so cheap that you're just like getting like the bottom of the barrel. It really does feel like a comparable experience. Like I feel like with the mid range, you're getting exactly what you're paying for. I feel like the higher or the lower you go, I feel like if you go lower, they just cut out they cut out just enough features to get it playable, to get it decent. And then if you go high, I feel like they I feel like you're still getting restricted one way or another. I feel like you're still getting restricted. I kind of feel like this 4080 Super should be super, if that makes sense. Like I feel like this card should be a lot better. 7900 XT. Now that card there is an interesting one. Especially right now, price wise, the 7900 XT is an interesting card. Very interesting because it does good at 4K. It's got enough VRAM. It definitely has a big enough, bus rate, and like the overall experience that you get out of that is what I would call. I don't know. Like I don't regret that one. Like that one doesn't leave like that. Like, oh gosh, I think this should be better. Kind of taste in my mouth at all. Whereas the 4080 Super kind of does. Like I kind of get that. I kind of get that feeling that this card should be a little bit better. I feel like it should be just a little bit stronger. I feel like it should be a little bit more. I feel like I should definitely be getting a better experience ray tracing, seeing as this is like what the 20, the 30. This is the third generation RT performance. I feel like that should just definitely be a lot better, even without the freaking the frame gen and the DLSS and all of that stuff. I feel, yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. I kind of feel like Nvidia high end. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe if I would have got a 4090, maybe I wouldn't be feeling this way. But I do kind of feel like this card should be better for the price that they're asking for it. I feel like it should definitely be better because I kind of feel like if I would have got a 7900 XTX, I'd have got 24 gigs of VRAM. I mean, like obviously that would definitely be enough, through for work purposes, for gaming purposes. 24 gigs of VRAM would be sufficient. I would have got a 384-bit bus, so that would have definitely been able to, like I feel like that would have made the experience even smoother at like higher resolution, stuff like that. I feel like I would have got, a good enough product, because if I really sat here and told you guys, like the difference in quality between like this gigabyte GPU versus the XFX GPUs that I've bought, those are much higher quality. Like they are definitely higher quality. They feel like they're built better. They feel stronger. They feel more. They definitely feel better for sure, for sure. So right there's like three reasons right there with the 7900 XTX that I definitely feel like that would have been a better buy. Now I know that a lot of people are programmed and trained to care about DLSS these days, like DLSS, frame gen, all of that stuff. My friends, it's only worth a damn if like you absolutely need it. Like I don't even feel like those features should be like factored in when you're buying a freaking GPU, man, for $1,200. Like you should that should be the last thing you need to run your video games at that level of a GPU. Now DLSS and frame gen and all of that stuff on like a 60 series, on a 70 card, Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But on a freaking a 4K card that should be running at 4K without using any of that stuff, I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this card should be better. I definitely feel like this card should be better. I mean, I'm not going to complain too much about it. You know, I'm not complaining too much about it because I do like it. It does good at a lot of the stuff I want to play. But I definitely feel like this card should be a little bit better for the price. For the price, especially the gigabyte. Especially the gigabyte. Maybe this is all about just the gigabyte because this card here should definitely feel more robust and feel better. But it's just this big, chunky, lightweight, freaking. I mean, it's not even a super heavy card. Like it's just a chunky. Got this big old freaking plastic. And yeah, I don't know. Like it kind of feels a little bit cheap compared to the XFX, but that is what it is. It does have a very good cooler. It stays very cool. Power draw is pretty decent on it. So I mean, there's not a whole lot to complain about it. But come on, guys. At the end of the day, if we're paying $1,200 for a GPU when we could get something for like $600-700 and still have an incredible experience, I don't know, man. That kind of just in my mind that makes it feel like you're not getting what you're paying for. You're overpaying for something that at the end of the day, you're still gonna probably want to replace it next generation anyway. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And for all of you that think I should stop making these kind of videos, man, you know what? Start paying my bills and then I'll consider it. Start paying my bills and then I'll consider it. And so, all right, guys, you guys have a good night. We'll see you guys in the next one.